Early voting is underway in Florida, giving voters plenty of time to think about and cast their ballots. In the race for a U.S. Senate seat, instead of the typical two-way contest between a Democrat and a Republican, voters have three main candidates to choose from.
I've always thought that more parties are better because you actually can get more people involved and more people having discourse about the issues.
It's very confusing, so that puts you in a position where you're not sure of who to vote for.
The race is potentially confusing. The three main candidates are Republican Marco Rubio, Democrat Kendrick Meek, and Governor Charlie Crist, who was elected as a Republican before he became an independent. Christopher Mann is a political scientist at the University of Miami. He says Florida is not used to this kind of race.
What's really remarkable about this three-way race is that it's not an outsider. It's, it's a main player and the second place contender in the polls. Incumbent governor, who's a third-party guy.
Tea Party activists helped state legislator Marco Rubio capture the Republican nomination over Governor Crist. Crist says Republican voters should be able to see that Rubio is wrong for the party and the country because he'll be a polarizing figure.
If Marco Rubio goes to Washington, we're going to get 6 more years of gridlock and finger-pointing and arguing.
At a recent debate, Rubio accused the governor of straddling both parties.
He changes positions on the issues because he wants to win the election.
Across the country, Tea Party candidates are having an impact. Some are competing as third-party candidates. Others have seized the Republican nomination away from traditional party favorites like Crist. Many key Republicans, like former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, are standing behind Rubio. But Crist, a Republican until recently, is winning support from some key Democrats, including Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., whose uncle was President John F. Kennedy.
It's unusual and a little bit painful thing for me to do, to come to Florida to endorse somebody who is not a member of the Democratic Party, but who I believe is the best candidate for this job and the only one who can win.
Democratic activists in Palm Beach County, north of Miami, reject Crist.
He is not a Democrat. He is a conservative Republican.
Party leaders say they stand behind their candidate, Democratic Congressman Meek. They want Crist to drop out of the race. Mark Allen Siegel chairs Palm Beach County's Democratic Party.
You have no idea what he's going to do when he gets to Washington, and as a result, he's obscuring the real choices that are before the people.
The latest polls show Rubio leading the field, but experts say he would lose if he was competing against only Meek or Crist. Christopher Mann says in the end, Rubio could win without a majority of the votes or a clear mandate.
So it's important to keep in perspective what a Rubio victory means. It means he's a vulnerable politician. It means he's got 6 years to try to get himself to majority status. It doesn't mean that he's an overwhelming leader. It means that a majority of voters voted against him.
By November 2nd, Florida voters will have to sort out a confusing situation and decide who will win the Senate seat. Brian Wagner, VOA News, Miami.